Tonight on Sports Sunday, the losing streak is over.
He is near the wall, looks up, this ball's gone!
And it's Zach Greinke throwing like an ace today. But are there still some concerns?
Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins put on a brief show last night.
Petty hits DeAndre for the touchdown.
Some good news from the offense, but what about the latest on rookie Titus Howard and the O-line?
School has arrived, and with it, high school football season has too. We'll highlight some of the area and state's best.
And why is this Cougars family so happy? Keep your eyes glued right here. I said right here. Sports Sunday starts now.
Just wait.
Live from KPRC Channel 2, this is Sports Sunday, presented by Nissan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sports Sunday. Full house tonight. Wex, Ari, Laney, Randy McElroy with you. We got a big show, full half hour to get to. We can't waste a lot of time. This is a lot of it. We need an hour tonight, I think, right?
We can do that if they let us.
All right, welcome to the show. Let's jump right into it. Let's talk about the Astros. Let's start it out in the Bay Area. Zach Greinke on the mound looking for his third win as an Astro, guys. Not a bad day at all on the mound. Greinke with the strikeout of Matt Olson in the second, and then he gets Profar coming up in the third inning as well. How about 7 innings, 6 strikeouts?
Gave up just 1 run, but he did make a mistake, and here it is. Marcus Semien, his 21st homer of the year, would put the A's up 1-0, but the Astros would come back in this one. Alex Bregman is not Allen Iverson, but he is the answer.
Bregman deep to left field, going back. Grossman, he is near the wall, looks up, this ball's gone!
30th home run of the year for Bregman, 3-run shot, 83 ribbies on the season, 3-1 Astros on top. Stayed that way till the 6th. Yuli Gurriel, like he's done since the All-Star break, smacks the double, brings in Carlos Correa. He's got a team-leading 86 RBI. Losing streak, it's all over. They get a happy flight coming back to Houston with a 4-1 win.
Yeah, you see the final again. Zach Greinke now 3-0 with Houston, and he got the milestone victory. His 200th career win, joins Justin Verlander as one of just 3 active players with 200. Bregman also with a great day. He went 4 for 4 with 3 RBIs.
Get into a game like that, especially missed opportunities, and still have your starting pitcher come back. And honestly, I was more impressed with him being able to get a 0 after an inning that we scored. That was not easy this trip.
Fastball is really good. Besides those couple batters or 1 inning where it kind of got a little off, and the rest was good too, but things are playing off the fastball.
All right, there's comments from the Astros after getting out of Oakland finally with the win. Now they can relax, guys. They're coming back home. Nice little homestand and maybe pad that lead a little bit more in the AL West. How about the overall AL standings, though? That's what everybody's looking at right now.
They're getting a lot closer. The Astros lost some ground this week to the Yankees. Now 3.5 games behind them. But with the next 10 back at Minute Maid Park and the return of Garrett Cole, hopefully it can get them right back to where they want to be at the top up there.
All right, so they've got 79 wins. They're a comfortable lead right now in the AL West. AL overall standings are chasing the Yankees right now, but there are some concerns. There's people that are kind of nervous a little bit in some key areas with this Astros team. Let's start with the bullpen. It's been a little bit shaky of late, hopefully turning the corner. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, last week we called for, at least I did, maybe get Osuna out of that closer spot, but now there are guys who you would maybe place in there that have not been doing well. Presley gave up a really big grand slam, and he's been good for most of the year. I think the bullpen needs to, they have time, but at some point you got to look good once you get rolling toward the playoffs.
The good news is he looked a little bit better in this case. This obviously the McCann slam. Today Presley looked a little bit better, and again it's going to take, I think, a little bit of time coming off the IL as he did for him to get back to where he's at least an option at the end of the game, but I'm sure he's going to end up settling right back in as the 8th inning guy just fine.
Speaking of something that's taking a little time, Josh Reddick. Not exactly sure what's been going on with him, hitting 189 since the All-Star break. The good news is you don't really notice this because of the Astros lineup and just how potent it is, but something's definitely been up with him since the All-Star break.
Well, he got a hit today. That was a good sign. Yeah. And just reading the comments on this road trip from A.J. Hinch, he sees the frustration there at Reddick with bat slamming and everything like that. That's normal. It's going to happen. Here's a guy just trying to find his swing. All it takes is really a couple hits in a game, and I think you're going to see him get going again.
He's 99 at-bats into his post-All-Star break activity, has 0 homers, no pop in his bat for about 3 months now.
Maybe time to call up Kyle Tucker.
I don't
what?
think they plan
it's been
on
mentioned.
doing that.
Yeah, I think they're going to wait till September. But if he's struggling and you call up Tucker here in, what is it, a week or 10 days, you got to think about maybe putting Tucker in the lineup if he's still struggling. How about Garrett Cole now? Coming back, he missed a start or two there. He expects to make his next starts. They want him back. They think he's going to be just fine.
Should be Thursday, ending up that 4-game set with Detroit. At least Cole, who wouldn't quite acknowledge that's when he's coming back, but also signs point to start this 4th game of the homestand.
Another quick note, Aledmys Diaz going on the 10-day injured list because of dizziness.
And
he took that figured out.
Yeah, he took a shot off his foot. I couldn't believe he stayed in the game the other day, but dizziness a little bit more serious.
And didn't they say he's going to be okay, though? They
think
feel
so.
like he's going to.
Yeah, all the tests were fine.
All right, so Astros coming back home, lose 3 out of 4 to Oakland. Not a great road trip. They're still in good shape, though. And they always play well at Minute Maid Park. Starts with the Detroit Tigers, new series 4-game set starting tomorrow. All right, that's the latest on the Astros. Let's talk Texans.
3 receivers right. Webb gets the snap. Joe with a lot of time. Now pocket collapsing. Webb firing downfield and open and caught. Touchdown, Vincent Smith.
Yeah, what a throw, what a catch. Those are the types of plays that help a guy like Vincent Smith make the squad. We got more on that coming up in just a minute. That, of course, Texas voice Mark Vandermeer with the call last night at NRG Stadium. Texas now halfway through the preseason with a big week ahead. They've got the Cowboys on Saturday, and now roster spots will soon be solidified. Here's a quick look now at the key play, especially early from last night, that stood out.
For most fans, the only part of the game they cared about was the opening drive at NRG, where the guys we will see on Sundays got some work in. The offense was sharp on the first and only drive for Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. First time out together, Watson was 5 for 7 for 60 yards, also ran for 7 more, and capped off the 11-play 75-yard drive with a short touchdown strike to D-Hop.
And he hits DeAndre for the touchdown.
It felt, comfortable, felt happy. Everyone was on the same page. Operation was perfect.
That was a pretty smooth drive, man. Pretty good. Going out, starting fast. That's all we can ask for. We did what we came out to do, and that's good.
The drive also saw DeAndre Carter make 3 catches, filling in for Kiki Qt in the slot. A productive Carter is needed for the Texans. Defensively, among the starters, Whitney Merciless stepped in with a sack, also a forced fumble on the play. Getting to the quarterback and being used properly, unlike a year ago, will be big for Merciless, who's in the final year of his contract.
It was just really good, just the game day vibes and all that. And so we already knew, as far as the vanilla type of offense and defense that they were going to go out, and they knew us as well too. But it was good to go out there and make plays.
All right, some of the highlights from early in that football game at NRG Stadium. You get a Texans victory. You build on that. You got the Cowboys coming up on Saturday. Let's break it down a little bit more. Let's talk about what you guys all saw in this opening drive. Limited sample size, if you will, with all the guys, but they were sharp, just as you would hope they would be at this point. They look like they're regular season ready now.
I think it's just what you want to see, finishing that drive with DeAndre Hopkins, but they didn't only have to resort to DeAndre Hopkins the whole drive. Like you talked about with DeAndre Carter, I think it's really important seeing those guys step up, especially with Kiki Qt still a question mark for at least possibly the first couple games.
Yeah, the first 4 passes for Watson all got them first downs, and they played with tempo. They had some no huddle in there. Total comfort from him in and out of the pocket, and he had time to throw.
Look at this. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds to throw. He could have, sat there and made a pie back there.
Yeah, nice little catch there from DeAndre Hopkins. He'll take it. And, again, that's what you want to see, and hopefully we will see a lot of during the regular season. Let's go over to DeAndre Carter highlights now. And here's a guy that stepped up and really on the same page. I like what he does, route running. He's got good hands. Bill O'Brien praising this guy, it seems like quite a bit during this training camp.
This is where the roster building comes in, because DeAndre Carter kind of looks like and does the things that Kiki Qt can do, and Vincent Smith looks like and does, obviously not as good, as Will Fuller. So you have these kind of one-to-one backups at these positions.
Total difference for Carter this year, having been here since last season. Kind of came in the middle of things, filled in for QT at the end of the season. He's got a good chance to be a big contributor in a number of ways very early.
Not afraid to be in that slot position. Vincent Smith, Laney, here's a guy who stepped up. He again is battling for a job, had the touchdown catch.
Yeah, and battling for a job, nothing he's not used to. I love this guy's backstory. We were talking about it earlier. Went to Limestone College.
Limestone
College.
First fighting Limestones.
First player ever out of his school to be in the NFL, obviously undrafted, and he has just grinded his way to where he is now. And he just continues to step up and take advantage of the opportunities he's given.
Yeah, you want to take a look at the numbers for those guys battling at the bottom of the roster for those final spots. You're going to see Fuller, QT, and Hopkins obviously are 1, 2, and 3. And I think DeAndre Carter has everything locked up as the number 4 guy, especially since, as Ari said, he is the slot receiver currently, and he is their return man. The battle's really between Smith and Johnson. Johnson spent the entire game against the Lions beating their secondary down the field.
All right, we'll keep an eye on it. A big week ahead for these receivers to really make a statement against the Cowboys. Got about 90 seconds. Let's talk offensive line. It's been the topic du jour, if you will, during training camp on how this is really going to shake out. Matt Khalil did not play. Roderick Johnson was out there, and he did a pretty good job there on that left side.
He was pretty good during the week of practice, had some chance to go against the Lions during joint workouts, and then did it again last night. He and Howard manning that left side, that dangerous side, and again on that first drive, they did a fantastic job.
All right, Matt Khalil, you look at what he's done during camp. A lot of people feel like he has struggled. I've seen a little bit of it at practices, but again, did not play after playing a little bit in that Green Bay game. But is this a guy they can count on? That's going to be the big question moving forward. Are they comfortable with him protecting Deshaun Watson?
I'm not sure if he's there to play or he's there to mentor Titus Howard. So at this point, I'm not sure if Khalil can start game 1, but it would be good. They need him.
All right, Bill O'Brien on Khalil last night.
I didn't want him to play tonight. He'll play next week. Just managing reps throughout the preseason. That's all that is. And I got to watch the film, Aaron, before I make a judgment on A-Rod. It looked like he played pretty good, but I got to watch the tape before I mean, there's no way you can make a judgment on a player from the sideline like that.
Yeah, the last thing he was asked was, what's the status of your left tackle? He goes, Matt Khalil's my starting left tackle.
He's my guy. Yeah.
That's bad news.
All right, here's what's up for the Texans now moving forward. Camp is technically over, if you will, but they got a couple of weeks left here in this preseason.
Yeah, quick glance as you see it there, the practice all week ahead of heading to A&T Stadium for the game Saturday night at the Cowboys. The Thursday preseason finale the week after. Then, tough day, August 31st. They're going to slash that roster down to 53.
All right, still to come on Sports Sunday. We are 11 days away from Thursday openers, 12 days for the Friday Football Frenzy's 14th year here on Channel 2. We're hearing from state champion North Shore and 5A state runner-up Fort Bend Marshall and their plans for this fall.
Plus, coming up, a super exciting and emotional moment for this family at the U of H. I'll tell you exactly why this dad is so happy coming up.
We're lucky we have a playoff system, and it's just about making the playoffs and making a run to playoffs. District championships are always important around here, but once you get that, then your ultimate goal is to win a state championship.
All right, we are ready for some high school football coming up. I've seen a lot of great players over like 30 years of covering this stuff. Wow. Nothing like the Friday Night Lights when they come on in Texas. You're going to get your first taste of it here in a couple of weeks.
Look, man, I'm from Kelowna, Iowa, which is home of quilts and Amish people.
All right.
And there are stadiums that I've seen around here that fit more people that are from my whole hometown.
No doubt about that. You're going to love the stadium.
Yeah, and what's better way to start than with the play of the year, maybe in the country in high school football. North Shore wins state on a Hail Mary. Of course, Coach John Kay and the Mustangs hoping to have another successful season. Their off-season prep, these guys are trying to get a little more mature.
Now that I'm coming up through the rankings and coming up through the program, a lot of younger kids look up to me. So what I do, a lot of them look up to. So I can't do the wrong thing and expect to be okay with them.
The maturity of this group has been there through the spring and through the summer, so I don't anticipate anything different here in the fall.
All right, North Shore state champion. We know that, 16-0. Fort Bend Marshall reached the title game in 5A, but they fell short against Aledo last December. Good news now, much of that squad is back this fall, led, of course, by dual-threat quarterback Malik Hornsby for 3,000 yards last year. He threw for 3,000 and a combined 33 touchdowns.
A lot of threes.
I was at Marshall this past week, found out they are more focused than ever.
They're used to playing deep in the playoffs and playing in December, and we're still not done yet. Those guys are still hungry, and they want to finish the job and continue to work. So it's still a very hungry team. We're a different team. We're not the same team that we were before, and we have to find our own identity this year.
You know what it is, 16 weeks, man. It's a long road to get there.
16 weeks, long road. Every day not promised, so we got to make the best of it.
All right, KPRC Channel 2 Sports, your longtime leader in high school sports coverage in less than 2 weeks. The 14th season, as I mentioned, of the Friday Football Frenzy will debut.
Yeah, and Game of Thrones only made it 8 seasons. We're on 14.
We're way ahead of that.
Yeah, think about that, huh? Every Friday, beginning August 30th for 12 weeks, we got you covered at 10:20 p.m. with all highlights, local bands, cheerleaders, and new this year, we want your pictures from the games, so send it to Click2Pics. We want them. We want your picture. Lex, Laney?
Thank you, guys. A lot of those high schoolers now on campus around the country, and plenty right here at U of H.
Yeah, and it's so easy with this U of H football program to focus on De'Aaron King, what he's going to do this season in the offense. But we haven't talked a lot about the defense, and I think fans can get really excited for this new look Cougar defense. Last season, they didn't have the nickel in the defense. They do this year. The guys are fired up about that, and they told me that just overall, you can expect them to be more aggressive and physical on that side of the ball this season.
Yeah, I think it is. I've noticed Coach C, he likes to call a lot of exotic plays, so I know it's gonna be really fun.
Yeah, I think it just adds a lot of diversity to the different things that we can do, versus a spread team or a box team. The nickel is the guy that kind of can do either one of those things, so that's what I'm looking forward to.
A lot to look forward to. Someone who will help on offense. This guy right here. That's Chandler Smith from Oak Ridge High School. This past Friday, pretty special to him, even though it seemed like any other morning. Team meeting with Coach Holgerson, talking to them about staying on top of things.
Coach Holgerson was like, yeah, how many of y'all still have that? And I was like, nah. In my head, like, I'm saving it for rent. He was like, you know what? Chandler Smith, you're on scholarship. Like, when he said that, like, my heart dropped. I didn't even know what to feel, what to think, but it was just that feeling of like, wow, is this really happening? Like, all my hard work's paid off.
Smith was able to then head home and share the news with his dad.
They told me is that they put me on full scholarship today. What?
Just an awesome, awesome sight. Great for Chandler. He's a fourth-year junior, worked his way to a full scholarship.
Yeah, I was there talking with him, and just a great guy. And I asked him, I said, you seem like the type who would be even more motivated now after getting on scholarship. He said, absolutely. He said it's like adding gasoline to the fire, and he's ready to get to work for the season.
Time to get to work very soon. Holgerson era is about to start.
Yeah, it starts with the big one at Norman against Oklahoma. 2 weeks from tonight, the game at Energy Stadium against Washington State, and then the conference opener at Tulane. Roll wave.
They play at conference favorite UCF in early November. Then they close it out, hosting Navy at the end of November.
All right, tonight many are mourning the loss of a Longhorn legend. Cedric Benson died after a motorcycle crash in Austin last night. Benson, of course, one of the all-time running back greats at UT, played for Texas from 2001 to 2004. He was part of that great 2001 recruiting class by Mack Brown that included linebacker Derek Johnson as well. After his Longhorn career, he spent time with the Bears, the Bengals, and the Packers. Benson will be missed. He was 36 years old.
This is Sports Sunday, presented by Nissan.
The Dynamo are going to get a second here today. They're going to, Manotas has! Oh, how about that? Prescott-like.
Yeah, big comeback for the Men in Orange. Mario Manotas with the 2 late goals to salvage a draw and a point in the first game for Dynamo interim head coach Davey Arnaud. Took over last week after the club fired Wilmer Cabrera.
Me personally, I'm approaching it how I can help the club right now. I'm not thinking beyond tomorrow. We have a day off tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll be thinking about what we can do the next day to help us be successful right now, because that's what it's about. That's my job. And
let's take a quick trip back to NRG Stadium. We were at the Texans game last night. Interesting stuff from a couple of tight ends.
Yeah, these preseason games aren't always so riveting. So anytime something really exciting happens, we get fired up about it. So Jordan Thomas caught a touchdown, didn't end up counting because of holding, but it was pretty interesting what he did after the touchdown. I got to ask him about it after the game. All right, Jordan, you missed the first preseason game. How was it to finally get out there? I know it's not the regular season, but still some game action.
It felt good to be out there with all the guys, Ake, Jarrell did some good things, Ake did some great things, Fells did some great things. So it felt good to be out there with the guys, back at it.
even though your touchdown didn't count, it might have been the highlight of the game. Take me through that play right there and exactly what the celebration was all about.
It really wasn't a celebration, honestly. As you know, I am a big guy, so I can't just stop on a dime. You know, ain't no telling what'll happen. So it just kind of, I just went on through the tunnel. You know, I couldn't stop, and then I got to the asphalt in the tunnel, and I almost slipped, so I just kept going. So it really wasn't a celebration. It became a celebration, I guess.
Yeah, he picked
up his speed when he got to that touchdown.
No question about it. So that was pretty funny. Nothing funny about that last night. That's tight end Jarrell Adams bringing the old man's strength to the battle. This was Adams on Adams violence. So take a look again. Again, Jarrell Adams, one of the tight ends trying to make the team, makes the catch, and he just throws Andrew Adams out of the club. It's an all-time great stiff arm, and even his teammates were impressed with the work that he's done, and I think he's making a name for himself with what he can do. Take a look at it one more time, flip it around, and down goes Adams. Let me take to the picture that captures the moment of exactly when he takes it down, courtesy of the Texans here. Look at the reactions of his teammates. Charles Omenihu, I can't believe it. Brian Cushing.
Oh, Cush is fired up.
Oh, he loves that. And look at Albert Huggins. You know what's going to be fun this week? Watching that play in the film room.
Oh, they're gonna Jordan Thomas told us it was a grown man, stiff arm, and he reminded us he's 27. That's why.
I guess that's
he's
grown
older.
man.
So once he's 27, he'll do it too.
We'll be right back.
All right, wrapping up Sports Sunday. Selene's last night was, we're going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you guys. I'm going to miss all of you viewers. Thanks for watching every week, and I've had a really great time covering
Awesome,
sports.
great job. Awesome job. All right, big week ahead. Texans resume workouts. Cowboys on Saturday.
Astros back on for 10.
Astros swinging bats.
We got a little bit to cover.
Balls.
I'll be in the stands at Astros eating some food or something.
Doing it right.
See you next time. Have a good